It's because it's unleashed. I can't be professional. I don't know how to do that.
It's not meant to be professional.
No. Any Hoosers, this week we're talking about
Betrayal. I almost forgot. You literally just said it.
Just like
I had to think. Did you see my thinking process? I was like,
betrayal.
Yeah, betrayal.
I was about to say, why'd you say it like that? Like you were unsure. I was.
But I was like, yeah, it's betrayal.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. This week we're talking about betrayal. The best topic to talk about. I just be praying for people. Because I'm like, well, because there's so many times, like, at least in my own life, and I know in your life too, that it's usually the people that are closest to you that not only press your buttons, but they're also the ones that install the buttons so they know where the button is. So then they continue to press it. And then it's essentially like, don't press this red button or it'll set off nuclear bombs. And then once you do set off, why you have to so crazy? Oh my God.
No,
and then you see red and then you almost catch a case. That's one thing, and that's why I have to stay prayed up, because I'm like, you know what you're doing. You know what you're doing. You're an adult. That's what you claim. You know what you're doing when you're like being manipulative, when you're lying intentionally, when you're like making sure that I'm insane because you're insane. So the situation seems normal.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, you know that you're doing this. And you know why you're doing it. And yet you don't give a fuck. And that's what irritates me. The fact that you know why, and you don't care. And I'm like, why are you like this? Who hurt you? Really?
No, for real.
It's usually the parents' fault. 10 times out of 10, it's the parents' fault.
Definitely.
It's definitely always the upbringing.
That's true.
That's why I gotta stay prayed up, because I'm like, oh, it's not your fault. It's your parents and your grandparents and the environment that they created you in. But also, it is your fault because you're an adult and you can choose to change.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no. I feel like,
but it's not easy to change if they don't know right from wrong, type of thing. You know, it's like, okay, I grew up like this and this is all I know, so I don't know to change it.
So normalizing chaos, yeah, that's a whole thing. Also, though, being an adult in the world, you'll have experiences where you test right from wrong because your parents told you right from wrong. They had to have, at some point, whooped you behind for doing something wrong.
Yeah, sometimes.
Or at least talk to you about doing something wrong, or made someone in your life up to this point in your life has told you what right and wrong is. Someone, whether it's your, probably if it's not your parents, then probably like a grandparent or a teacher, someone in the public.
It's a fly in here.
In the general public would have been like, that's wrong to do. Don't do that. So I'm like, you can't go this far in life, especially in your 30s and 40s.
No, for real.
Not know right from wrong. And then everything that we hear on social media showing you in different like experiences what right and wrong looks like. That's not an excuse. So you know right from wrong. You just choose not to get caught when you're doing wrong.
Yeah.
You just don't care if you get caught when you're doing wrong. I think that was Guy's dad. Look, okay. And I can't even say my biggest betrayal because
girl, that's horrible. It's life. It is life.
And the only reason I can laugh about it now because I'm like, dang, y'all really fucked up. Because then, like, when I see I see myself in like other relationships, like friendships and all of that stuff. I'm like, I'm actually a really good person. You really lost out with how ignorant you wanted to behave and like the lack of responsibility that you wanted to have in that situation. If things probably, because that was a really hard decision to make, but it also wasn't a very hard decision to make to get divorced from her dad. Because it literally was like, so after he cheated, I'm like, okay, maybe we can work this out like a good wife. Maybe we can work through this. Let's go to therapy. Let's go to church. No, that lasted for about 2 weeks. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go to therapy. I'm going to go to church. Because clearly I might be the problem. No, it was him. I was the problem in some things. I'll take that. Not all of it, though. Not all of it, though.
I'm not taking it.
I can't take responsibility. But that's what I was doing, though, and that's what made, I feel like that's what made it feel like an even deeper betrayal for what her dad did, was because he wasn't taking responsibility for it. I felt like I had to. So then I was also saddled with like the shame and the guilt that came with what he did. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, this is terrible. Like, I can't tell anybody. I can't talk to anybody about this and all that stuff. And I was like, I can. Legally, they got to keep that to themselves. Other than they therapist, the therapist. So like literally, it was like a 3-week thing. It went from I no longer love you the way a wife loves a husband, and I'm trying really hard to love you the way a friend loves a friend. And then it went to I no longer love you the way a friend loves a friend, and I'm taking my wedding ring off and putting it on my necklace. And then literally the 3rd week, I want a divorce. I can't do this. I was like, no, I want a divorce. I can't do this.
No, for real.
Because, homie, you don't have about a month to 2 months to show some type of change, and you didn't do none of that. And then I feel like it was even a bigger betrayal. Not even bigger, but like it was even like a harder betrayal, because when I did want to talk about it, he didn't want to talk about it, and he decided to leave the house for X amount of time until I calmed down, basically. Until basically I'm okay with what you did. And I'm like, you know what? I ain't gonna be okay with that.
No, for real.
And I was like, I need to talk about this because what you did was not okay. But you don't want to talk about it. So I'm gonna go talk about it with a therapist and figure it out myself. And now you get to present it with divorce papers.
Period. It happens.
Look, and then my first ex-husband, that was a betrayal too. Well, clearly he's my first ex-husband. He ended up getting engaged while we were married.
I remember you telling me that. Yeah.
And then I found out, not first, but so I found that out. And then I found out that she had met his dad, and we were all living together. So like his dad was our roommate, we were his dad's roommate, however you want to look at it. We all lived together. Mm-hmm. And she met his dad. And I was like, and dad didn't say anything about the fact that you're introducing this new girl to him. Well, he knows full and well that you're married.
Right.
And y'all getting engaged? And he don't have a problem with that? Both y'all ain't shit.
No, for real.
Both y'all ain't shit. And then when I did find out, I'm sitting there calling him. Because when I found out, I freaking punched him awake. And kind of feel bad for that. Only because I don't want to punch people. But I was pissed the fuck off. But when I found out, his dad, and I'm like, no, what are you talking about? Like, no, I'm not about to sit here and calm down when he's doing all of this. Right. And so he ended up actually leaving the house for like 2-3 hours. I couldn't get in contact with him, couldn't text. He wasn't texting me back, wasn't answering my phone call. I think at one point he blocked me. Right. And then I hear that he's on the phone with his dad in the other room. His dad's on the phone, like, yeah, she's still in the living room bitching. Da da da. And I'm like, y'all both really ain't shit. Mind you, this is like after being married for 2 years, being together for like, I think like 2.5 years. And on top of that, I was also working in the retirement home for Alzheimer's, dementia, and Parkinson's, where his grandmother lived. So I'm like, y'all both ain't shit. Y'all both ain't shit. And then I found out also that he was like planning on. He went and told the leasing office of our apartments that he was going to move this, and this is how stupid he sounds. He's gonna move out and give me time to move out. Then he's gonna move back into the apartment with this girl after I move out. So he told them that he wanted to take my name off the lease. Mind you, I don't know any of this. He's doing all of this behind my back. He's taking my name off the lease and putting her name onto the lease. And he's keeping him and his dad's name on the lease. I was like, oh? So you making big plans.
No, for real.
And I'm over here going to work and going to school thinking everything is hunky-dory. That's what happens when you marry a hunky.
Right? Can't trust him.
It's horrible to say.
I could never. But it happens.
And then my one of my coworkers, he was like, "Yeah, I seen him over here." Because what we used to do is like go to Chuck E. Cheese and like play the games, get the tickets, and then give it to a random kid. He's like, "Yeah, I seen him over there at Chuck E. Cheese, like the Sunday before I found out." And I was like, "And why didn't you tell me?" He was like, "Because that Monday you were off, and I was gonna tell you that Tuesday, but then you called out that Tuesday." So now I'm telling you on Wednesday. Now I'm like, wow, because I found out on Tuesday. I was like, I'm going through too much. No, I'm gonna have to call out. I was like, wow. And he specifically did it on the Sunday because Sundays when I was working there at that time, I would literally work from 6 a.m. until 6:12. Yeah, literally from 6 a.m. until like 9, 10 o'clock at night. So I was at work the entire day. So of course you took that opportunity. And then this mofo, he was still working at Burger King because we had worked at Burger King together. He was like, oh yeah. So to explain his long nights out, he was training to become manager. But he had to go to another location to do the training. It's so stupid to lie.
It really is.
It's so stupid to lie because you sound so stupid. And I was so stupid for actually believing it. I was like, oh yeah, okay, that makes sense. And then I ended up like going to the actual like Burger King where he said that he was like training to become manager. And I ended up seeing the store manager there, and I was like, hey, so is he training to become manager? She's like, no, why would I do that? Not the whole why would I do that.
No, for real.
She's like, no, why would I do that? I was like, do you ever have to like go to another store to train to become manager, or you can just do that at the store that you're working at? She's like, why would I do She's like, what the I was like, I'm just trying to answer some questions, so I already have the answer. So I don't even have to sit here and ask him because I know he's gonna lie.
Right.
And I was like, okay. She's like, yeah, no, he's always just been at that store. I would never train him. I was like, bet. Thank you for letting me know. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Crazy.
I can't physically roll my eyes to the back of my head, but you get the idea. Because that was some baby back bull. Yeah. Betrayal. But yeah, you grow from it. I'm like, you grow from it. And that's the not the beautiful part of betrayal, but like the beautiful part of betrayal is I know I'm gonna bounce back from this, and I know for a fact that I'm a good person because I wouldn't do shit like that to you. Right. I wouldn't do shit like that to anyone. So at least I know I'm a good person. Yeah, you might have fucked me over. I learned. I grew up. Got some hair in my balls. It ain't gonna happen again. And I'm like, you ain't shit. And I know I'm a better person. At least better than you. Because I wouldn't do shit like that. You know, we're all learning. Yay. Yay. I love it so much. I love learning about life and how terrible people could be if they wanted to be terrible.
Okay. She said if they wanted to be terrible.
People are terrible sometimes. We're going to pray for them.
Definitely.
We're going to pray for them. All right. Do you have anything to add about betrayal? Betrayal mix? That was an episode of Bob's Burgers.
There's been a whole lot of them, but no.
Yeah, poor baby done been up and through it. Pray for her.
Yeah.
But I feel like betrayal happens a lot to good-hearted people. So then it makes you not want to be a good person.
Yeah, but it's a lesson learned, and it makes you focus more on the red flags a little bit more than a lesson.
But also, and then that's the sucky part about being betrayed is like now I'm hyper focused on like making sure that there's no red flags to where I can't calm down when there are only green flags. So I'm like, yeah, that's the sucky part about being betrayed is then that one instance will like make you anxious in any other situations that even slightly mirror that. Like for me, I am absolutely terrified about getting in a relationship. Hell no. I told my therapist, I was like, I'm fine being single for the rest of my life. I'm good. He's like, now what did we say about it? I said, I know you said it's unhealthy. I'm just saying I could do it. Like
I don't see how it's unhealthy though, because if you're comfortable with yourself and happy with yourself,
I got friends.
Right,
I got this freaking kid that loves to play with my Billy Bongo, so I'm like, I'm fine. It's fine. Yeah, my daughter likes to play with my stomach, so I'm like, I'm fine if I needed to do that, and I'm like, I know that I do want one. I just know that I'd be terrified in a healthy relationship. Because clearly, I've only experienced toxic relationships.
Okay.
That's the sucky part too. Is like when you're in toxic relationships for so long, then a healthy one comes along, you're like,
what is this?
Right. Oh
no. I'm dead. No, for real.
It literally does. It literally feels like something completely different. I don't know that feeling, but I'm just going based off of past other people's experiences. I don't know what it's like to be in a healthy relationship. I just told you all my relationships are unhealthy.
Right.
But then again, that was when I was unhealthy. You might be the problem.
We all
like you might be the problem.
We all grow.
Yay! Any Hoosers, we're gonna
wrap it up. Tie the bow.
Exactly. She liked it. Here you go. We're gonna wrap it up. It has been. It's because it's unleashed.